If the internet, here we go. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I love this guy. He is blazing trails in our world, especially our real estate world. Todd is back with us. We are going to talk about Reboot Your Business with Relationships and Referrals, which the link is in the comments. You guys can go check it out. And if you use the code, which we'll talk about in a minute, you get 25% off. Welcome, Todd. How you doing, my friend?
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the last minute promo on this. We're just excited to get this event in town. And thanks for having me back on the show. It's been probably 2 years.
Yes, and our first one was a crazy one because it was at, I remember we had to go live at Dubstred, right?
Shoulder to shoulder. We're like this in the phone.
Yeah, you have big shoulders too. So my shoulders are like, we look crazy in those videos. Yep. That's why I love this whole remote thing. All right. Well, before we start talking about the event, I love the topic, Reboot Your Business with Relationships and Referrals. I think that's so important. Everything's coming back. Before we take a deep dive, tell them a little bit about you.
So Todd Schroth, Orlando, obviously markets. I've been selling here for about 20 years. EXP Realty now for about 2.5 years. Slowly growing our team. If you're interested in looking at just building a team with us, we're happy to sit and connect. We're in the Altamont Springs market, but handling the 5-county region. So
yes, and Realtor extraordinaire. So if you want to reach out to Todd Schroth, he's got toddschroth.work there. There's all sorts of ways to reach him. That would be a lovely thing for you to do if you see him on the show. So talk about the events. So tell us about Michael. And I honestly love the fact that events like this are coming back. People are hungry for them. We're looking for some sort of socialization, networking, and learning, and not over Zoom or StreamYard. So talk a little bit about the event and about Michael.
So I'm excited to have the events coming back in town as well. I mean, we started to have one last March, and we ended up canceling. It was like right before COVID even came. We were doing the statewide tour with another speaker, and we canceled it. I was like, it's just like, oh my God, we're back out there. We can do this. And so we're excited to have Michael back. This is his first time, I'm not excited to have him back because this is my first time hosting him. But this is his first time speaking in the last 12 months. If you don't know Michael Maher, he wrote the 7 Levels of Communication and Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. And so 2 awesome books. I've read the books a couple of times and gotten a lot of insight out of them. I've heard Michael speak several times. Love, whenever I can get on a podcast, listen to him. And we also just partnered up with one of his coaches in town. And so he's in town. So it was like, hey, this is a perfect time because I'm actually going to spend the afternoon with him tomorrow at a private event. So it's going to be pretty cool. And so we're like, hey, you're in town. Let's host an event together. Let's bring everyone a referral-based business and teach them that. And so we said, it was a great idea to put this on.
Yeah, I think that people are trying to figure out how to maneuver through 2020 threw everybody kind of for a loop, but things are coming back, but there's still a new normal that we're trying to figure out. How do we tap into our referral base? Does our referral base come out? How do we set ourselves apart? People are starting to think like that again, instead of everybody being in crisis management mode like they were for 2020. What do you do? What is it about relationships and referrals? Obviously, you've built your business on that as well. What are some of the things that you're looking for, what people can look for when we talk about this in the event? It's Thursday.
Yep, this Thursday. June 3rd, I'll just give you the dates and times real quick. It's June 3rd at the Alfond Inn in Winter Park. We're going to be hosting from 1 to 4, and then 4 to 5, we're going to have a happy hour as well. So obviously stick around after. We're going to have some nice drinks and appetizers going. But, how I built my business on repeat referrals over the last 20 years is, I'm not the best at staying in touch. I'm not the best at this. I'm learning every day. I swear I could double my business if I just got in touch with my database a lot more.
You and me both, my friend. I get it.
Exactly. It's all about time and, how to leverage others and leverage yourself more often on doing things. But I've built my last 5 years of my business. We've really been taking a lot of this into heart and getting into events with clients and hosting things with them. And of course, we got thrown for a loop last year because we used to do fall festivals every year, and we'd have like 200 people show up with their kids in costumes and trunk or treats and food trucks. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. So we did pick up a pumpkin. So we had them come get a pumpkin, get their photos taken with a little design at our office. And I mean, I had kids. I had people with no kids say, I drove a damn hour for a pumpkin. I'm like, then why'd you stay 2 hours and have a beer with us? You wanted to visit us. So it's fun to just be around our clients, and the ones that show up are the ones that want to be around you. And those are the ones you want to go back to more often. We do a lot of kids events, but we also do happy hours with the adults, because what do the parents want? Get away from the kids, get a drink, and have some time away. And it's just nice to be able to socialize with them as well. Doing movies and doing a variation of other things. But you find your ABC clients and you really dive into the A1s like all the time. Your B1s, a little bit less, and the C1s are the ones who are going to refer you randomly, but you still want to stay in touch with them. That's the idea, like the fall festivals.
Yeah, I think that people don't, and I'm guilty too, like you mentioned. I feel like I could do a better job of staying in touch. And it doesn't have to be this big production. I think a lot of people in both of our industries, we want to make this big production out of it. And a lot of times it's just that very simple touch, that very simple thing. But you can't do it if you don't have a system in place. You certainly can't do it if you're not keeping any list of who sent you business, which it kind of boils down to that at the beginning, right? How are you going to know who's sending you referrals and who your relationships are if you're not tracking that?
It's one, staying in your database. And if you sent me a referral, Ted, I'm going to put a note in the background on that client that Ted sent that referral. So I know to reach out to Ted. And, the concept of the book is, call it 7 levels. Ted referred me to Veronica, who referred me to Aaron, who referred me to so on. I'm calling Aaron saying, thanks for the referral to Ted. He's like, who the heck is Ted? Well, you referred blah, blah, blah. And it's a way to get in touch with everybody else that's back there.
To me, that's such a simple thing, but you have to figure out how to build that into your day. I think a lot of us get so caught up in the day in, day out crisis management and the day in, day out nitty gritty that we don't build in these positive, forward thinking, proactive ways to stay in touch with that database that's really feeding us.
Yep, exactly. I mean, one thing we just did with our database, which I'm glad a lot of softwares are now integrating, is AM cards with Curtis Lucy. He just integrated it into Follow Up Boss. So now we can just grab the client, type the card out, and it sends it off automatically. Amazing. It's not the 7 levels way where you got to write rightly on the card and you get it all handwritten. You can't read my handwriting if I tried to write you a card. If I send you a thank you for this, it's going to come from a computer, or one of my assistants is going to end up writing it for me. So you can actually read it and it gets there, not the 3rd grade handwriting. But it's nice to be able to do this stuff again and get back out there.
Yeah, I think it's important too, just because there's one particular thing that you may or may not like to do. If you can take one nugget away from the event on Thursday with Michael and Todd, and there's a lot of really cool people that are going to be there, that's worth your time, because I think a lot of us are trying to figure out, do we do it the old way? Well, the old way doesn't necessarily work exactly the way it did in the old days. So you have to metamorphosize yourself and change a little bit and figure out what does work. This is a way for you to kind of get that foundation, learn some things about how to work your referrals and your relationships. And actually, I guarantee you're going to come away with something you hadn't thought of, or maybe some way to think of it differently than you've thought of.
I'm laughing because you say the old ways. I feel like the old ways are now pre-2020.
Exactly, the old ways. It's so true.
We're excited for this, and I asked one of our friends asked, well, what's he going to be teaching? Because I've already been to 2 of his events. A whole new platform on how to do this in 2021 and beyond. How to do it socially and virtually. Because some people still want to do virtual stuff. Like this is, we used to get together and do these shows.
We did.
And it was like, now we need to come to TED. Now we just meet TED online. How to really engage all
that. It looks prettier, but we had to adapt. When I first learned about StreamYard, I thought it. I'm like, how am I gonna interact with the people that I am usually in front of? Yep. It's a different world. But once I did, I realized I can be just as communicative and engaging, and so can they. You just have to kind of shift your way of thinking. All right, so what is the best way for people to find out more about the event, register for the event, and then tell them a little bit about the special code?
So in the comments, maherevent.com, If it doesn't work, please message me. It worked when I clicked on it, but obviously everything's always tricky. Use the code MEMDAY, as in Memorial Day. It's going to get you 25% off. And we will see you guys on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Check-ins at 12:30. We're going to start promptly at 1 because we know realtors are always on time. And it's going to go from 1 to 4. And why are you laughing back there? You know we're always on time.
I should have taken myself off the thing.
Yeah.
We're not on time either. It's just it's our crazy world.
Exactly. Use the code MEMDAY. We're going to be there 1 o'clock on Thursday, starting 1 to 4, then happy hours 4 to 5. We look forward to seeing everybody.
Can't wait. Thank you for coming on the show and talking about this. Guys, this stuff is so important to get involved with. If you are feeling stagnant or not sure how you're going to maneuver through the waters of 2021, it's June. So I need you to kind of get in gear, and this would be a great way for you guys to kick it off. The Alphon's Beautiful, a happy hour afterward. Reach out to Todd. Go to the site. Use MEMDAY. So you can go to mayorevent.com and then use MEMDAY to get a 25% off code. Todd, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
You look forward to it. See you soon. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys. Check it out. Do something big for your business. Change it